Good morning, friends. Welcome back to our channel. Time to do the garden video, garden update, and the Cathy update. Start off with Cathy. She's still doing well, still progressing. She still hasn't got to a point where she's comfortable getting on camera yet. So we're gonna still continue to hold off on doing that for now. I don't think it'll be too long before she'll try to get back on, but we shall see. Had a few changes in the last 10 days in the garden. Some of the things I'd shown you, some I have not. So let's get started. First thing, I end up moving some of the green stalks from over here by the main garden where they were getting full sun all day long. Moved them over here onto the porch where they were towards the end of last year, because really they only get about 6 hours of sun here, 6 to 8, and then they get shade in the afternoon. So some of these more fragile plants can't handle all that sunlight. So some of these lettuces, and so we'll keep them over here. I also put the potatoes over here. Again, they're still growing real well. First time we've ever grown potatoes from seed. First time we've ever grown them in a grow bag. So we're gonna kind of learn how they do. These are the areas where we moved it. Trying to grow some grass back here. Strawberries, as you can see, strawberries are doing well. We're starting to get some red berries on even the new growth, new plants. Getting some reasonably pretty berries in here, which I pick them off every couple of days. Still got the squirrel fence on here, so we're still trying to keep the squirrels out. And so far we've been pretty effective doing that. What we have here, a couple different things. I think in the last video I showed you that I'd transplanted some of my cucumbers. They were looking a little bit scruffy at that point because they were only about a day back in the ground. They have since come back and are looking really good. Put up the fence for them to climb on, so we'll get them climbing on that fence. These are the Space Saver cucumbers, so I'm hoping they won't completely take over this fence, kind of like those cucumbers last year did. One thing you also notice, I put down some mulch, live oak leaves from my mom's house. She has about 15 trees in her yard, so we generate a lot of live oak leaves every spring, and my dad traditionally used those in his gardens to help block weeds and hold in the moisture. So figured, why not? Let's do that too. Right here, we've got zucchinis. 4 of those, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're coming along fairly nicely. I think I end up transplanting just the one. It seems to be living real well. I did put up these little cages on here to try to keep them going up instead of laying all over the ground. We'll see how that works. Seemed to work fairly well last fall when we did it. These are butternut squash. I did put up the big cages, so try to let them grow up those big cages, and we'll try to make a crop of butternut squashes. These are, I think they're called nasturtium. We have a few of those scattered throughout the garden. They're supposed to kind of keep some of the bugs away, so we're going to try to keep some of the bugs out. Whether it works or not, I guess we'll see. We don't really like putting down any kind of the chemicals. We do when we think we have to, but so far we haven't had to do a lot of that. We have had to do some. Kind of do a little uncovering here. My bell peppers got covered up down here. One. Got a couple of small bell pepper here and one here. So letting those grow. Got some okras coming in here. I tried planting them on the other side and they just didn't do well. I don't think they were getting enough sun. So I have not yet put any leaves down here. I think once they get up and get some size to them, I'll put some leaves to them as well. Try to block out those weeds and keep the moisture to them. Here we have the cucuzzi melons, cucuzzi squash. They are supposed to be similar to zucchinis. Supposed to get real long and skinny, so we'll see how those go. They're starting to look really nice, growing up pretty well. I do have a couple of nasturtiums planted within those. These on this side, that's what they call Kajari melons. They're little small melons. Haven't ever had one before, so those are going to be new to me to eat or just to have. So we'll they're going to just be new. We'll have them crawling up our cattle panel, so kind of ready for that. Back here, I've planted Kentucky Wonder string beans, and we have had quite a few of them come up, 9 or 10. Got some nasturtiums in here as well, so they're gonna try to help keep the bugs out of the beans. Various flowers in this pot, so not sure what all the types are. Here we do have various tomatoes. I know these are here on this end, they're the beefsteak tomatoes. Those on that end, and over here to the side, those are all of the cherry tomatoes. So we'll have those going on. Okay, we have a few more of the Kentucky Wonder string beans. These aren't coming up as well as the other pot. I think these are getting too much shade, so we'll probably not plant them back here again. See all my stakes that I have ready to go up around some of the tomatoes. We got onions and chives and lavender here, so got those going. Still got dill that's seeding out. We did plant some new dill down here, so hoping that'll take effect, because we have been enjoying the dried dill that we made from the original batch. Chickadees, we do have chickadee babies in there. They've been feeding them pretty regular, and I think they'll be fledging soon. I'll talk about the bluebirds in a minute, but the bluebirds have actually already fledged. Onions, we have onions for days. We got like 30 plants in here, and they're looking pretty good. Blueberries are still looking nice. Bushes are pretty full, so I am ready to get some of those things. Alrighty. As I mentioned with the bluebird, we did end up having them fledge. Actually, only 2 of them end up fledging. The other 2, the male wasn't helping out with the feeding, and 2 of the 4 died in the box. So I think they were just not getting enough nourishment with just the mother feeding them. The male was around. He didn't do like our previous ones and helped feed. He was we call him a deadbeat dad, but he was a absent dad while still being present. He was still hanging around. He'd look in the box every now and then, but he would not help the mom with the feeding. And like I said, we've had others that would. So more flowers. We have sunflowers that are just about to bloom. Also have some zinnias in this container. More of our beautiful little purple flowers. They're going. I think our calendulas are near the end of their life. Of course, I don't know. I see some new buds on there. Looks like some new growth here, so I might be wrong. More of our sunflowers here in the raised bed. Again, they're getting ready to bloom. Got one that's really close here. It's just about to pop. Mixed in here, we have some tomatoes. I know you can see I have mulch in this bed, but no mulch in this one. I ran out with the load that I brought. I'm going to go back tomorrow and get some more, and we'll end up mulching this bed as well. So that'll come. More tomatoes. We have various varieties, jubilees, steak tomatoes. These are some type of Amish tomatoes over on this side. So we'll see how all those grow. These cucumbers, they already got the runners on them, so they're getting ready to grab hold of the fence, which I would like. We'll start climbing there. These are also the space savers, so we'll try those out. This is the first time doing those, so we're not exactly sure how they taste. These, same thing. Those are the space saver cucumbers. So all told, I think we got, between this bed and the garden, we have 10 plants. Here we have our spaghetti squash, the angel hair spaghetti squash. It's growing. I'm trying to keep it stuck within its own fencing, not go into the others. That's a hard thing to do because they're growing quickly. Jumping up, have some butternut squashes here. This is our first time growing the butternut squash. The seeds actually came from a plant we had gotten from the grocery store, and they've come up really well. So doing well. Got a few of those nasturtiums kind of spread throughout here, also to keep out the pests. And another nasturtium, tomato here, various tomatoes spread through here, another nasturtium in the back. So this is the garden. So we've got a bunch of more different varieties this year than we did last, of the different varieties of plants. So not nearly as many tomatoes. I think last year, for those who've been watching us for a while, we had over 70 tomato plants, and we had way more tomatoes than we needed. Cathy ended up putting some up, and we're still eating off of that. But they were good, and they turned out reasonably well. Had some pests kind of giving us fits with those, some worms. But all in all, we decided we didn't want nearly as many tomatoes this year, and we wanted more of the bigger tomatoes and less of the cherries. So that's kind of what we did. Anyway, well, appreciate everybody joining in, watching what we're doing. Thanks for those of you who've subscribed to us, the new subscribers. Thanks for those who watch regularly. Thanks for all the well wishes for Cathy. I know she's appreciates that, and she's looking, she's reading them, and she sees them. So we appreciate all that. And until the next time, we will talk to you later.